Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Caroline, and today I want to talk to you about a place where hope is literally built into the walls. A place where families walk in terrified, but leave with something they thought they had lost, a future for their child. This place is St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Imagine being a parent and hearing the words, "Your child has cancer." Your world stops, time becomes blurry, and suddenly all the little things that used to matter don't matter at all. Now imagine your next question having to be, how are we going to pay for this? 1 in 4 families report losing more than 40% of their annual household income as a result of treatment-related work disruption. That means not only is all their income going into cancer treatments, but they are now getting less income to go into these treatments and into their child and their family's happiness and future. Now imagine a doctor is able to look at you and say, at St. Jude, you won't pay anything. That moment, that miracle, that is why St. Jude exists. St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital was founded in 1962 by Danny Thomas. His mission was simple but powerful. No child should die in the dawn of life. Since then, St. Jude has become the world's leading pediatric research hospitals for children's cancer and other life-threatening diseases such as sickle cell. Here's the part that still blows my mind every time I say it. Families never receive a bill. Not for treatment, not for travel, not for housing, not for food. Nothing. The only thing families have to focus on is helping their child get better. When St. Jude opened, the survival rate for childhood cancer was about 20%. Today, because of research developed there, the survival rate is over 80%. But here's the cause and effect reality behind the success. Children are being diagnosed with rare cancers more than ever. Without continuous research, those survival rates can drop. And because St. Jude shares all of its discoveries with hospitals around the world for free, fewer donations don't just affect St. Jude, it affects every child fighting cancer. When funding slows down, so does progress, and these kids do not have time to wait. What St. Jude does is incredible, but it isn't cheap. The reality is, it costs $2.8 million every single day to run the hospital. And what might surprise you even more is that about 75% of St. Jude's funding comes from donations, not the government. So when everyday people stop donating, treatment stops, research slows, and fewer families get the help that they desperately need. That is why St. Jude relies on all of us. This is Carlitos. Carlitos was diagnosed with medulloblastoma, which is an aggressive brain tumor, at 2 years old. Carlitos' treatment included chemotherapy and proton beam radiotherapy. The best part about this story, and the only thing that gives me hope, is the fact that his family did not have to pay a single bill, and St. Jude took care of his treatments, and they were able to focus on their family and their child's happiness. Every meal, every appointment, every flight, every night in housing was covered. He got the surgery and treatment he needed, and today he gets to celebrate his next birthday and make friends at school and do all the things that a normal child in a normal family should get to see. Stories like that aren't rare at St. Jude. They happen every single day. This is why it's so important that no matter what, we give our support. This is why we should care, because St. Jude makes sure no family has to choose between saving their child and going into debt for the rest of their lives. They turn fear into hope. They turn impossible to possible, and they give children their childhood back. Every donation, no matter how small, keep those doors open for the next Carlitos. And here's where we come in. I'm not asking you to donate thousands of dollars. I'm not even asking you to skip Starbucks for a year. I'm asking you to do something simple. Visit stjude.org and give whatever you can. Even $5 can help. If you want to do more, you could also become a monthly donor. You could join a St. Jude walk or run. If you don't have the money or the finances to donate, you could share their posts and raise awareness for others who can. You can simply tell somebody, anybody in your community, what you learned about today, and it could inspire them to take action themselves. Every action matters. Saving a life shouldn't be reserved for doctors in white coats. Sometimes it just takes someone willing to give a little. We spend money every week on things that disappear fast. Fast food, subscriptions, clothes we just forget about. But a donation to St. Jude, it will last a lifetime because it gives the child a chance to have one. Hope should never have a price, and with our help, it never will. Thank you so much for listening today.